Welcome to ChessWhiz TV. This is a bonus episode. We are going to play in the World Atomic Chess Championships. This is round one. So it's 10 games of atomic chess, time control 3 minutes, 2 seconds added. And our first opponent is very close in strength to myself. So this is going to be a very hard fought match. It's 10 games of atomic chess, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of commentary while we're playing. So I'm going to send a challenge to our opponent right now, and then we'll get started. 3 minutes per side, 2 seconds added, pretty long. Enough to think about a position, in my opinion, in a 10-game match. So this could be a video on the longer side. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you already know how long it's going to take. But for me, I'm kind of blind. I don't know quite how long it's going to take. Once you get to 5.5 points out of 10, though, then the match can end. So we may not play all 10 games. Let's ask our opponent if rated is okay. So it's going to be 5 games as the white player, 5 as the black, which I think is really important because atomic chess is much, much better for the white player. And I'm going to be playing my best because even though I'm not the world's best atomic chess player, that doesn't mean I can't win the Atomic World Chess Championships. I'm seeded like 30th place or so. So what? I just need to beat 29 people better than I am. It seems possible. So I'm going to start with knight f3, which is the best move in atomic chess. Good luck. Let's click the good luck button. There's an opening that I like to use that's very, very strong for white, and it involves knight f3, e3. From here, I'll play my knight here. Typically, what I end up with in this kind of position is being ahead 1 or 2 things, a piece or a pawn, and that's the opening that our opponent is choosing here. And you can see I have a choice now between queen takes c7, which blows up the queen and knight. If you don't know how atomic chess works, if you capture something, it blows up yourself and the capturing piece and all the pieces in a king's move radius around it, not pawns. So this pawn would stay, but it would blow up these 3 things if I play queen takes c7 here. The other opening line, which I like, is to throw the check in, and I'm going to play that. The pawn comes up, and then the queen moves to this square. It kind of gains a tempo for white, because now it's black's turn to capture the queen. That gives me an extra move at the expense of having 1 less free thing. So I'm only ahead by 1 thing here instead of 3, or instead of 2. But on the other hand, it's my turn 1 extra time. So bishop c8 is a little bit unusual. Usually you see bishop f5 here, so I'm out of my opening book, but I'm not going to let that bother me. I'll play d4. Controlling the center is very important, and staking that stake in the center with that pawn is going to be very useful. So I am winning. I have this f pawn here, and the opponent does not, but it's definitely not simple to win this game. I have to be very careful not to let my opponent trick me in one way or another. You can see him going for the center there. If he takes this, I lose my knight. So I will... Should I move the knight? So I will take this pawn. Already I'm taking risks. That's not losing a knight for a pawn. In atomic chess, losing a thing for a thing is one way to look at it. It's not such a big deal. It's not like the knight's worth 3 and the pawn's worth 1. Atomic chess is much different than that. So fortunately I have the pawn necessary to block that on c3. So I'm blocking this. This c3 move is going to be very critical if he plays the check. I do want to rescue this bishop though. It can be really useful in a lot of lines. So I'm hoping he doesn't take it, but I also really need to castle. There's the pawn c3 and get the rooks in the game. As long as I can get everything into the game, I'm loving the e4 move here, laying my bishop out. And I think I'm doing good. I think I can win this. So I think maybe e4 here. The danger is on this f file. I can't play my bishop back. He can blow himself up, blowing up my bishop here. Those 2 squares. He might castle. Try to take this maybe. So e4, he castles is what I'm thinking about. Then maybe I play bishop here, threatening this. So then he takes this and I play bishop here, moves his knight in, and I push, and he gets his knight into my territory. Or I could castle. He castles, I move my king to the corner. And that I'm going to play e4 because I don't like how my rook. I don't like how it takes so long to come to f1 while his rook can move it immediately. He's not blocked by this bishop. So there's some lines where he captures this pawn with his bishop and starts putting both rooks down here as quickly as possible. And I need a good place for my bishop. I don't like playing bishop d2 because he takes this pawn and blows it up. So I want to get this bishop out. so that I can get the rook out and fighting his rooks. Because if I do castle and we trade these 2 rooks, his rooks doesn't have one of my rooks to fight it. So I'm actually thinking about bishop f6 here as a way to stop his plans. Because his one hope right now is coming down this f-file. If I close off the f-file, then I'm ahead, I'm going to win. I'm expecting bishop takes pawn or castling kingside. There's castling kingside. And I'll play the bishop in to play it to f6. If I castled and he blew this up, I play my king over. No, maybe I should have castled. He can't blow that up. I castle. He moves his king to the corner so that he can. I move my king to the corner. He blows himself up. Then I play the bishop up. So it's going to count maybe similarly. Take, rooks come out. Yeah, I'm fine. He does have the knight to that square in that position. But I think I would just try to move the pawns out of the way. Survive. Very slow opponent here. He's down to 1 minute left. The increment of 2 seconds is enough. And there's that. So I'll play this. Yeah, I'm not liking this too much. Maybe rook f1 is the move. Oh, so scary. Because if he takes this blowing up my rook, he's gaining the advantage that I had. Plus, being short a rook is very, very dangerous with an open file here. So by playing rook f1, the rooks are challenging each other, plus I save the rook. His knight is scary as well. This whole position is quite scary. I can't castle. My king caught in the center. I need to keep things closed. Maybe this is the move for me. This is so scary. Because if I take this rook, I win instantly. Right? Yeah, and if he takes me, he blows up his own rook, not something he wants to do. So he will move, and then I will move. That's the plan. So now... Nope, that's going to be a loss in 1 move. Guess I won't do that. Now... The knight can't move. Man, this is hard. This is very difficult. 27 seconds to 42. What's going on? What is going on? I'm not sure what I'm trying to do here. Clock's getting low. Oh, that'll help a lot. I just took 2 things with 1. I lose now. No! I should have played that 2 moves ago. I lost as white. This is really serious. There was no way to save my king there. So when he played b5, maybe I should have just taken this immediately, blowing up the bishop. And then I could play king d2 maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I lost as white. That's so bad. White needs to win all these games when I'm white. Because when you're black, it's very difficult to win. So the stats are now 0-1. You are ahead. And now I need to come up with a win as the black pieces. It's very difficult, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. So let's see what we can do. Knight e5. I have to take this for sure. I think, yeah. Okay. In this position, I have h5 or g6. Or this move, I think, will work. d4. So he's playing somewhat normally now. Let's take some center. I think I'm okay. Now I have to block this with knight. And then when he attacks this pin knight, it's very weird. You just leave everything the way it is, and it's actually not a problem. It's so weird that it's not a problem that your pin knight is under attack, because if he takes it, he blows up his own bishop. So actually, you can just sit there in that position and be just fine. And the really weird thing about that is that if you push, like to stop that, then he can take you and blow up your knight. So this is actually a more safe pawn structure for black than than pushing and causing them to be like that, if you know what I mean. So here I can actually come down like this, do some threats. So I'm going to do that. Very spicy position now because he's going to let me come in here with check. He blows up his own queen. That was somewhat surprising to me. I think I'll have to blow up my queen as well and lose a bishop. So now the score is he's ahead by this pawn. That's going to be a serious problem for me if I can't stir up some trouble, but I plan to do that. I have an open file here. I have kind of an extra tempo. I mean, I can play my knight here attacking this pawn, and then take this. You see what I mean? This is a fork between these two things. Gotta watch out, though, against this move. If he plays his bishop here, he's threatening this, and that's pretty scary for me. I'd have to play my king up. Pretty scary. But maybe I could do that right now. Play the knight here. He needs to move this. Then I can take this pawn, blowing up his rook. His bishops can't do anything to me. This bishop certainly could do something to me, but if I just play my king out, maybe I'm okay. And I'm going to go for that because I'm down. What about this move? Does this threaten anything cool? No, he'll move it. Play here. He moves the pawn. I'm better off this way because then I can take this. So I'm going to take a risk here for sure. I mean, this enemy bishop coming into this square, yikes, you don't want enemy pieces really close to you. So this is dangerous for me. But it's what I'm doing. If he attacks this pawn, you know, my king doesn't have a lot of safe squares. I think I need to get my g pawn to g4 here to keep this safe. Come on. So now we're tied up in material again. I actually have a rook against a bishop, but that's not a big advantage, especially with these closed files. He's trying to open up this position against my king. If he opens up this diagonal, then I'm really hosed. So I got to put some pressure on that. I think my winning move is here, because now I can take this and kind of hold everything together. Yeah, so he's running away so that I can't do that. And now I definitely... I'm worried about f5. This really has me puzzled. He plays f5 with my pawn still on g7, then he's got two pawns against one, and he could force a queen through. Very dangerous to deal with. So playing g6 makes it so that I can capture this way and kind of makes things a lot safer for me. He's trying to take extra space. I think I better close this as well. I don't want the queen side to open up right now. This is a good technique for keeping things balanced, is actually to put pawns like this. Because atomic chess has everything blowing up all the time, you're completely fine with a position like this. So what I could do here is get this pawn driven down to the second rank. Very useful to have a pawn on the second rank. And then give up my rook as part of that plan. So now we have one rook each. The bishop, I think, is going to have to sit on this square to keep his... So if I take this, he plays his rook over and I have nothing against him. But if I play the bishop here and then here, that really closes it up. We're going to have more open files here. We each have one rook and a bishop. Pretty balanced position now. I mean, you can actually see we each have 6 pawns, we each have a bishop, we each have a rook, but it's still very dynamic. The clock makes it even worse. I only have 20 seconds. This pawn obviously is my threat. If he pushes, I have to play king b7. Almost said king b2 there. That's how nervous I am. Because if his pawn gets to the white square, then his dark square bishop drives it through. So I have to put the blockade on the white squares. A little bit nervous here. Oh, it's pretty normal. Get nervous in the World Championships. This is game 2, for those of you just joining us, of the World Atomic Chess Championships. And this is the first round, so our opponent is kind of similar in strength to myself. I'm seated somewhere in the 30s, like 32nd or 35th seed. I think this page tells me 30. Oh, yeah, 31st seed. So there's only 30 people rated higher than I am. So yeah, I could probably win this whole tournament. So bishop in. He doesn't want to trade his rook. I definitely want to play here. Oh, maybe not. Clock is an issue too. So he might play his bishop f1. It's all about blockading b7 at this point. Get him a rook in also. Looks like I might have a draw here. Or maybe even a win. Capture this way. Interesting. So we are kind of tied up, if you know what I mean, in more ways than one. I think he's going to have to trade his bishop for my pawn. So that could be pretty useful for me. Oh, this could get interesting here for sure. 4 seconds left on my clock. I can promote. I need to play this way. No, I didn't. Now he checks me. No. And now he promotes. No, I'm okay. No, if he promotes, I can take him. Oh, he's in huge trouble now. I'm going to win this. 2.9 seconds on the clock. I think I've got this game. There it is. 3 seconds. He promotes again. Oh, no. Well, I guess it's funny. I mean, it's terrible that I lose, but at least I had something funny. When he promoted on this side, he could take this pawn, blowing up my king, so I had no time to check him, or he would blow me up over here. I'm sure I had something better in this endgame, at least a draw. Wow, what a game. He actually won that game against me, but I got second place, so that was pretty good. So I pushed, he took me. If I had left this bishop here, then obviously he can't play around. I mean, play his rook around the board. I don't mean like play around. So I played bishop out. He pushed. I pushed. He brought his rook around. And now I'm almost dead. Wow. Wow. I feel like I had at least a draw there and maybe a win. I liked the way that my pieces were set up, especially that pass pawn on the side of the board that disappeared later in the game. Man, that was tough. So let's put in here, you are ahead 2-0. So let's take some wins. Game 3 of the World Chess Championships. Atomic chess, that is. I'm nowhere near top 100 in chess, but atomic chess, maybe I am. Salah71 says, I love your vids. Thank you, Salah. I love you saying that you love my vids. We're going into the same opening as last game, as game 1, that is. But this time, I'm going to actually take all 3 pieces off the board right there. So this is the alternative opening for white versus bishop b5, what I played in the first game. It's also very strong. I mean, I took 3 pieces off the board. I only lost my queen, so I'm ahead by 2 things, which is twice as many things as in the last game. Knight c3 here. Stream quality is very bad right now. But that's only the stream quality, if you know what I mean. Not the chess quality. Chess quality is moderate. Okay, what do I have to play here to survive? Do I have to push and give up one thing? Man, this guy knows his openings better than I do. So if I move the knight, he brings the bishop in and I lose. If I take this, he brings the bishop in anyway. It's pretty scary, but I'm going to try it because my knight can go here and cause some serious havoc, and I like that. And if he doesn't, I got f3. And I also have Knight here right now. So by playing this move, I avoided enemy bishops sitting on top of me with my own bishop right here, which would be a loss. So actually he went for the knight, which means I can keep his bishop out. So this is so much better for me than having the enemy bishop on e2, squashing my king. So I actually feel pretty good about this position now. Should I castle? Should I play d4? Is there a risk if he plays this that he'll do something cool? I'm going to play d3. Covering the e4 square could turn out to be really useful in some lines because his knight can't come down here. In fact, it can't come down right now. If I'd played d4, maybe he would just play the knight there right away, opening up my king a little bit. Kind of scary. So a little bit more cautious, a little bit safer. And that's something you see in a lot of openings, usually from the black side, where you're like, oh, the pressure's off. Now I can move my center pawn a little bit. And you move it 2 squares and it creates some kind of weakness that's revealed later. By moving 1 square, everything's a lot more solid. Salah found me on YouTube. That's cool. Everybody did. Episode 192 is where almost everyone has found me now. Hello to Ans Jovis. The opponent taking some time here. I think he's trying to find a way to cause me trouble. I am way ahead. I captured 3 things with 1, and then we traded 1 each. So right now I've got 8 pawns to his 4, and that's a huge, huge advantage. E6 is a good move. I think maybe b3 would work well for me. Bishop a3. Understanding, of course, he's going to play the check and leave the bishop there. That's really interesting, and a common atomic theme, actually, is when 2 pieces are facing each other, like bishop facing bishop or rook facing rook, and they could capture each other. Instead of taking, they just sit in each other's faces. Well, he's not doing it, so never mind. But like really, really close together like that. And then whoever takes, it's the other guy's turn, so that's a disadvantage to take. And then that's the way chess is played around here. G3. Preventing taking that protects my rook. He thinks he's coming in. I don't think it's worth the trouble for him, really. Let's see. Bishop b2 is not the best. Bishop b2 has the problem of this move with check. If I block, he takes me, blowing up my bishop. Now, maybe that line would still be good for me, actually. He still plays this. And now I'm going to take him, I think. Taking some pieces off the board helps me a bit. I really want to keep all of the files closed, though. You can see I have all 8 pawns. Let's keep it that way, because enemy rooks coming into my house, not so good. I think c3 makes sense. If he takes, once again, following that same theme, I can play the rook almost all the way into his face here. He castles. Oh, this is brilliant. Brilliant on his part. Too bad I'm not him. Because what I really want to do is get this rook ready to go. Like, he just got his rook ready to go. But if I play my king up, the knight blows me up. So that's not good. What if I play this? Dangerous. But on the other hand, I could promote if I get bored. I'm like, what do I do with this pawn? I don't have anything to blow up right now. I guess I'll make a queen. That is an alternative. It's very scary, though. Overall, this position is too scary. So what if I take the knight? He plays his rook down and I take it. He plays his other rook in. Oh, I got problems. What am I supposed to do here? This guy's owning me. Let's keep moving things. I need my pawns away from my king a little bit further so that I can move my king up somehow. This is not going well. He might win 3 in a row. Ouch. I don't think I'll have a lot of chance to win the match after that, but anything can happen. Even ChessWhiz winning. I know that sounds amazing, but it could happen. Okay. I think I'm dead here. E4. So that knight takes pawn does not blow up anything on these squares. I think I'm dead anyway, but let's try. No, definitely lose. Oh, he's just gonna mate me a little bit more. Well, maybe I should take that. Maybe I can survive by taking it. I mean, I don't think he should have played there. Maybe he sees a checkmate anyway, so that's why he did it. But he could play check and then check and then check underneath, which he could play now, but with the knight there it was more threatening. And then bring the other rook in with check, which obviously is what he should be doing, is bring his other rook in. And maybe I can survive this. Yeah, I think maybe I can survive this. Guys, I'm so excited. Maybe I will survive. I love surviving. This could be a draw, which is awful because I'm white pieces and I should win as white, but it's better to draw than lose. I think he got to win if he left his knight on there, though. The knight could do so much. So I take that. He can check me perpetually, like in a circly shape. I suppose that's more of a rectangle. But I can promote. What can he do about that? Nothing. So it's pretty much a draw. I mean, he cannot stop me from wreaking havoc. The only thing he can do is check me forever, and that does stop me. So he'll check me forever, and that'll be a draw. So 2.5 to half is what we're looking at here. And that is a draw. Game 3. Yuck! What went wrong? I traded too many pieces for pawns, maybe. Well, that's 3 games now. He's ahead 2.5 to half, and I have the black pieces next. If I can win as black, then it will be still bad. But look at it this way. My opponent's not even recording the video. That's how much I'm winning by. And my video, it's on YouTube. Whoa, it's way better. Yeah. So I'm winning, just not at chess. You know, I'm still winning. So e6 here, I think, is the best move. e5 would be a terrible mistake because of queen g4, common trick, and hitting these squares and killing me instantly. It's really common. So we had this in game 2 also, and I feel like I had a draw, almost a win in that ending. So let's play something similar to that, and I think we can get something good out of it. I did have his enemy knight come out here, and I had to trade my queen for a pawn. I was down a piece from that. Maybe I should not play that way. Yeah, let's try something different. Let's try b5 here. It really traps the knight in. This is something you should know if you play Atomic, is that anytime you move a knight pawn 2 squares, it gives the knight almost no life. It's like a homeschooler, because it can't come out to these squares, or when the pawn is taken, boom, the knight blows up. So it really traps the knight back where in its starting location. And I'm going to just push a lot of things, because I don't have anything to do. There's no way to improve the position on the king side. I think he can't cause me problems either, but actually I don't know about that. But I'm going to be pretty aggressive here, trying to make something happen on the queen side. It's my best side, okay? This side, not my best. It's my second best side over there, but this is my best side, so I'm stirring up trouble over here. I have c3, or c6, I mean, against the bishop check, so that's okay. Extra space is very valuable in Atomic. So these advanced pawns, they're worth something. Maybe they're worth like 2 pawns or something. It's pretty good. Pawn h5. Maybe? Can't decide where I want that pawn. Maybe just h6. Maybe h6 and g6. Let's trade light square bishops. I like this because, yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. I like trading light square bishops. My bishop is kind of blocked in by my own pawns, and his bishop had a lot more potential. So by trading them, I've gotten rid of a worse piece for his better piece. My dark square bishop has some great potential out here. So now there's some danger. I mean, what if he takes this boom, 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 boom? Yeah, takes this. What if he takes that? Boom. I play this. Boom. He takes that. Boom. Yeah, there's definitely some booming could go on here. That's not very good. What's the typical defense against this kind of thing? I almost have 94, but he could take my bishop with checkmate. Boom. Because that would, otherwise he would have to, oh, he could also take my queen. Okay, so I'm not quite there. Because he's going to take my knight, and then he's threatening this. What in the world? I'm playing something really weird. I can replace the knight if he takes it. That's the only idea that I have right now. But with his extra space, I think he can make something happen. I think I'm in big trouble now. How did this happen to me? Why couldn't he play queen f3 on like move 5? Always the same problem. So now I plugged the hole with the knight. I was looking at lines where I played queen f6 and then the pawn blows up my queen. Didn't like those lines, so we're trying this instead. I'm still alive. Actually, I'm not behind right now. In fact, I'm ahead by a little, if you consider pieces to be worth more than pawns. I have 7 pawns against his 8 because I have an extra bishop. So still alive. I'm really glad he took that, actually. So far, so good. This is simplifying my pain. Hello, Andrej. Hello to you. We are playing in the Atomic World Chess Championships. This is game 4 of 10. There may not be 10 games, because once you get to 5.5, you are the winner. But there will be as many as there need to be. I'm down half to 2.5, so down by a significant amount. But this game is looking like a draw. It does look like I can draw this, then it's going to be 1-3. And if I can win as white and win as black, never mind. I'm hopeless. It's hopeless. It's pretty hopeless. My life is hopeless. But fortunately, my life is bigger than the World Atomic Chess Championships, because it's pretty hopeless. In atomic chess, white has a pretty big advantage right from the start. It's very hard to win as black. My opponent won the first game as black, so that's why I'm so far behind. Castles. Take his queen. I like this setup because his knight can go nowhere. I could play bishop here. I'm going to start with this. Because if he takes my queen, he's the one wasting all the time on it. Oh, what about this move? Yeah, that would be so strong if I didn't win. You know what I mean? Queen takes f2 would blow up his king if he did that. But the power of the idea is very strong. Oh, very nice. Because the check, and he can also take this, you know, threatens, and there's some threats and things. So if I could check him, he moves his king over. Let's just castle. I'll move his king over after that, too. Oh, he didn't. Makes me wish I'd checked him. King over. This could actually be very good for me. Oh, I'm starting to get excited. I have 2 rooks and my shoulder feels good. He only has 1. So I take this, threatening to win. He plays his rook down, I take it. He moves his knight, I bring my rook over. He blocks with his knight. Oh, maybe he gets in that way. Is he doing okay? 9 seconds, 2-second increment there. Okay, I'll take the knight. This is a draw. There's 6 pawns on each side, 2 rooks. I just have to be smart. There's no way anyone can win this game. Playing on the queen side is nice. I have a few extra pawns there, you could say. I'll create a passed pawn in the center. Whereas his passed pawn is not even passed yet, and it's not ready to rumble. Still drawish. Oh no, I could lose this. I could lose this. I should not have created that passed pawn. Oh no. Because my king is nowhere near anywhere. I'm so stupid. I lose another game. No, king, get over there. Get there quicker. Get thee there, thine quickestness and improvement of the quickness. Be thyself quickening, and then don't lose. Oh, I feel bad. rewind a bit. In this position, I could have pushed this pawn. That would have been better. Better to win than lose, I should think. But that would have been a draw. So that would have been a better idea. So we're going to stop the match at 5.5. So 2 more wins by him and it's over. But I don't wish to be any more humiliated than I am. So I'm going to win a few games coming right up. Just watch this. These white games, I am way ahead. I'm way ahead and I'm going to play much better. Ouch. Okay. Yeah, that ending was definitely a draw. I didn't consider the fact that my passed pawn could be blocked by his king, and his could not. I'm more familiar with this check line, so we're going to go back to the line we played in game 1. It's very good for whites. I'm liking it. Let's see if he plays bishop c1 or bishop c8 again. I will castle this time. This should be my first win, if all goes well. Fingers crossed. Thank you guys for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We have had so many new subscribers shooting up in subscribership. Let me give you an idea of how many subscribers we've had. It took 3.5 years to get to 2,000, and then it took like a week to get to 2,200. 10% growth. That's 10% more than it took a long. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. The math is hard, but what I'm trying to say is the YouTube channel is growing faster than ever. So thank you guys for subscribing. I appreciate that. Our viewers are growing in volume, which is a nice way to say you're getting fat. Okay. So can I just win this? Let's take a look here. I kind of like the push, but let's not be hasty, as they say in a well-written novel. Oh, I was just wanting to move that. I should have moved it. Should have played the bishop back here. Look what it would be threatening. So many good things. Okay, so I'm going to play the knight this way. Cause a little bit of a commotion over there on the queen side. All my extra pawns should come in handy here any moment now. That would be annoying. That would be really annoying. That would be so annoying. He hasn't been playing it because of this. But now that I'm over here, he can now play it. I cannot take that because the enemy rook blows up my king. And now he's threatening this. He's threatening things and other things. Oh, man. I'm annoyed now. At least I'm honest. I'm like, that will be annoying. And now it is. Perfect. You guys can trust the Wiz. He will tell you true things. Unlike most of the internet. Go this way. Most things on the internet aren't true, which is crazy to think about. Because the average person is trying to be kind of honest on the internet, but it's actually the net effect is mostly false. I'm pretty amazed by that. Well, it's a weird move. It's a very slow move. Well, of course you're threatening a lot over there, so. I'll just continue slowly. The one move, I'm going for the 1 square forward tactic that I talked about earlier in this video. How safe it is, you know. I like safety. Versus the 2 and the 0. Getting all your pawns up 1 square has the benefit that they're not next to your pieces, which in atomic chess, your things blow up a lot, so that's a nice feature. We'll go here. I'm counting on my f-pawn for a lot. Let's make it pull its own weight, as they say, in the land of weight pulling. Uh-oh. Well, I could play knight e6. Plus, I'm ahead on time, which is an unusual pleasantry. Okay, so knight e6 maybe? Or do I just move my king back? Let's do knight e6. Then maybe... Oh, that's e4. Yeah, then maybe e4. I'm still doing great here. Great. He can't win any material. I have 7 pawns against his 5. He has an extra piece, so 2 pawns for a piece. A good edge right there. Only a knight is in my zone. You can see his knight can do things, but nothing else, and that's pleasant. Let's go here. He's going to check me. And then I'll block it with a pawn. And then I'll take it with the bishop, blowing up my bishop. I don't like that very much. d4. Brilliant. Brilliant. That is like a particle giving off photons. That's what it's like. Because it's so brilliant. Now I'll play here. The bishop to f6 looks nice, or even the bishop to e7, really blocking up his position. My goal is to win this game. I have to win this game, because the next game I'll be playing the black pieces. He's won all his games with white, so, I mean, what I need to do has been made clear. This move, so good. Look at that. He has to move his king. No, he doesn't. He can move his rook. He has to move his king as rook. One of those. Oh, I'm starting to get nervous. And then this move. Can't get much out of that. What happens if I push? We'll find out. Oh, this is a real chin stroker. I'm kind of hoping he'll play his knight here, so that I can... Oh man, every time I lose it's funny, except for not for me. So I was hoping he would play here and then I could blow up his pawn and his knight. That's why I didn't really look in that area of the board, because if nobody looks closely, maybe he won't look closely, but apparently I should have looked closely because you blew up my king again. No. So someone asked in the chat, he asked, why couldn't you just keep your king next to his and then he can't blow you up without blowing himself up? You are head 4.5 to 0.5. That's painful. The answer to that is kind of tricky. You'd have to play against this guy to find out, but let me assure you, Tintra would blow you up if you tried that strategy. The problem is he can move his king. It's not immobile. And then what he does is he moves his king to a square that's not near your pawn, but it's near your pawn. And so then when you try to follow his king, because you want to stay next to it, then you're still near your pawn, and he's only near your pawn. And then when he blows up your pawn, it blows up you and not him. Yeah. You could actually look up. You know what you can do? Set up a position where you think you can draw it, and then play against the computer. This website, lichess.org, has a very, very strong atomic chess engine where the computer will beat you over and over until you are tired of losing. So you could just open that up, set up a position where you think you could draw, like put the kings next to each other, put a pawn there, set up that position that I had in the game when I just kind of lost quietly. Set that one up. And then, let's try b5 again. So why can't he play this after playing this? Because that's how I lost the other game. Why can't he play this next? I don't know. This whole episode is a little sad. Losing isn't very fun. But you could set that up and then watch how the computer defeats you. And then after you reattach your feet, you could then know the answer. So what I'm doing now is playing the black side of an atomic chess game. We're going to try the same line of defense here and hope for the best. Now he has this, though. So this is really bad. I'm playing the black side and I have to win, otherwise I will lose the match. So I plan to lose the match, but that's that. If you are wandering in for the first time, this is ChessWhiz TV. We broadcast once a week, Sundays at 4 p.m. GMT. I think the time zones are changing right now. And the exact time's on the website at ChessWhiz.tv. And there's also on YouTube constantly. So there's a lot of chess that you can find, but unfortunately it's not really chess. It's more explosive than that. So can I win by moving my bishop here and then my other bishop here? Not really. I can almost move my knight. But then he'd blow up my queen with checkmate, which I hate getting checkmated, so that wouldn't work at all. Let's try this. Nope, that won't work. Maybe I should look ahead more than 0 moves and then decide, but I guess I'll decide first. So I've got a real problem over here, and the only thing I can do about it is ignore it. Ignore the fact that I'm losing and all that. Okay, so this is going to blow me up, so let's move it. Now he's threatening this move, which is deadly, which I can counter by suiciding my queen for 1 move, and then I'll be dead again. I don't like losing. I don't like losing. I don't like this episode. Turn off the video. Stop watching me lose. That's mean. It's mean to watch me lose. King d8 will put off my demise, then I can die later. This can almost work actually, because after queen f7, don't tell him, but I'll pin him to a checkmate over here, and so that's gonna work great. I'm still alive. In fact, I'm doing great. Just keep telling yourself that. What's he gonna do? He's thinking. No, don't think. My victory depends on your not thinking. So he's now threatening this, which I'm moving my rook here could be pretty stunning to him. Are you stunned? But I have to go here. Or I could play here. Either one works. Which one will delay my death by more? Actually, this move kind of delays my death quite a bit. The enemy has an extra queen, but if we don't focus on it, we'll feel okay. Okay, so I have to play this. Just take my pawn blowing up my rook, please. Now I have to play this, otherwise his queen comes into my house. Still alive. Now he's putting me out of my misery. Oh, but now maybe I could checkmate him. Or check him a lot. It's almost the same. So if I play my rook up, then I'm threatening this. He might have trouble. I'll play my rook up 2 squares. Or no, maybe I should play my bishop here. Because I don't want him to castle and get away from all the bad things that I have stored up for him. There aren't very many bad things, unfortunately. We'll start with the bishop. That'll slow him down a bit. I can't obviously play this move because obviously he would blow that up, obviously blowing up my obvious rook. So that's not an option. My options are extremely limited. However, because now I can't get over there. Oh yeah, maybe I move my king up. There we are. Now I can get over there this way. Don't move anything. If he just holds still for a couple of more moves, I might be okay. Ah. Got away. So. Well, we could look on the bright side. I don't think I have pancreatic cancer. And that's encouraging. I'm going to have to resign this. Good game, Chintra, but I think I'm losing. GG, you win the match. I'll spell you properly in order to show some respect to my opponent. 5.5 to 0.5. Thank you for the games! Exclamation mark, heart. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed me talking about atomic chess. Clearly my ideas aren't the best, because while I'm sharing with you all these nuggets of wisdom, I'm losing even with all those nuggets. So my opponent must have like better nuggets, if you know what I mean. Now, hopefully you shouldn't think about that too hard. So anyway, thanks for joining us. I hope you had fun. I kind of had fun, but winning's better than losing. So next episode, we can do some winning. By the way, next episode, it's going to be so good. You have to check the calendar to find out what it is. ChessWhiz.tv. ChessWhiz TV. Yeah. ChessWhiz. Never mind. Don't look at the calendar. Thanks for watching.